The government of Bangladesh was overthrown in August after months of violent protests. A new interim leader came to power named Muhammad Yunus, who is a banker who is very closely linked to the US government. The US Congress awarded Muhammad Yunus with its top award for a civilian, the US Congressional Gold Medal. And in 2009, US President Obama gave Yunus the Medal of Freedom. After Bangladesh's government was toppled, the US State Department immediately recognized the new unelected administration. Muhammad Yunus has been closely linked to the US government for decades. He spent a large part of his career working in the US, training as a neoliberal economist. Yunus became very wealthy and famous because he created the Grameen Bank, which is referred to as the so-called bank for the poor. And his idea was that many poor people don't have access to banking, so he could profit from giving what are known as microloans to poor people, exploiting poor people in the perverse name of helping them. Researchers in Australia who support the Grameen Bank, they're not critics, they admitted that the average rate of interest on a working capital loan at the Grameen Bank is 20%. In a poor country like Bangladesh, 20% is a very high rate of interest. That is exploitative. And Grameen has also expanded from Bangladesh around the world, including in the United States, where the bank Grameen America has opened banks in 27 cities and boasts of giving out more than 1 million loans. On its website, it boasts of targeting poor communities in the US, in particular Black and Latino communities. And the website of the Grameen Bank states that their interest rates are 15 to 18% on their loans. Muhammad Yunus became very close to top US government officials, especially the Clinton family. Hillary Clinton went with Yunus to a village in Bangladesh, and Bill Clinton, the former president, said to CNN way back in 2001 that he was advocating for Yunus to receive a Nobel Prize. And that is exactly what happened a few years later. In 2006, Muhammad Yunus was given the Nobel Peace Prize, meaning he shares this dubious honor with war criminals like Barack Obama and Henry Kissinger, who were also given Nobel Peace Prizes despite the many wars and coups that they backed. But it's not just the overt support that the US government has provided to Yunus. There's also been quite a lot of covert support. And this is proven by US State Department cables published by WikiLeaks. Back in 2009, in a confidential State Department cable titled Nobel Laureate Requests US Government Help on Grameen Bank Rules, this document reveals that Muhammad Yunus has been collaborating for decades with the US government, conspiring behind the scenes against the previous leader of Bangladesh, the elected Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. And in this State Department cable, it notes that the US ambassador in Bangladesh was having regular meetings with Muhammad Yunus, who was requesting Washington's support on lobbying against the Prime Minister Hasina on behalf of the Grameen Bank. And in the State Department cable, it noted that the US ambassador, quote, pledged to assist Yunus in obtaining a meeting with the Prime Minister and in arguing on Yunus's behalf with the Prime Minister and her advisors. And this cable also acknowledges that Yunus and the US ambassador were discussing their frustration with the government of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her party, the Awami League. These are just a few pieces of evidence showing how the US government has played a role in the overthrow of Bangladesh's previous Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and the installation of the new leader, who is unelected, Muhammad Yunus. Now, Sheikh Hasina has been demonized in the Western media and by the US government as authoritarian. She was democratically elected, and she served office from 2009 until 2024. So she was in office for 15 years. That means that she actually served less time in office than the former German leader, Angela Merkel, who is in office for 16 years, longer than Sheikh Hasina. Merkel was never demonized as authoritarian or a dictator, of course, because she was a loyal Western ally. Now, the overthrow of Hasina has become a hotly debated geopolitical topic involving the United States, China, Russia, and India, the major powers in the world.